to Wild and Free Art. In today's episode, or video rather, we are going to make some faux marbled papers. I say faux because we're actually not going to be using size or anything fancy. You certainly have this at home, and you kind of get that marbled paper look. And yeah, without having to actually go through the whole marbling process. I hope you enjoy it and give it a try. And I just wanted to say thank you again to everyone for supporting my channel. And if you do enjoy today's content, I would really appreciate it if you could give the channel a subscribe. It really would mean a lot to me. Let's get started then now. So what you're going to need in order to do this is a tub. That's the size of the paper that you want to marble, so it has to fit it in. I just have this storage tub. You're going to want some newspapers and whatnot to dry your papers on. You're going to want your selection of papers and paintbrush or a stick or something to swirl some sort of design. You're going to need some water to water down your paints. I like having a spray bottle as well. And then you're going to need some cups or whatever and the paint colors that you want. I am using these ready mixed paint from the kids. I found that they're really quite runny already naturally, so they work really well. I don't need to add as much water, but I do have these other acrylics to use to blend the colors. The first thing you want to do is basically to prepare your paint colors. So I'm feeling very autumnal, so I'm wanting to use like yellows and oranges, some red, burgundy kind of base colors. So I'm just going to try and mix up some colors like an orange or whatever. Okay, you're going to need something to mix everything with, which I forgot. Okay, that works for some orange. And you're just going to add a little bit of water. As I said, for this one, you don't really need that much. But it needs to kind of be runny like that, I would say, color-wise. That's one. Then I want to definitely have some black. Sorry. And now I want to try and kind of make a burnt mustardy yellow kind of color. So we're going to try adding some burnt umber to this yellow. And we'll see what happens. And the last kind of color I want to make is some sort of burgundy-ish, which is a kind of purple. So just add a couple drops. And now we can get started. So I realized I didn't actually speak in this part of my tutorial. I got so wrapped up in my creating. So basically all you've done is I've taken the tray and I've started pouring a little bit of the colors of the paint colors in. I swish around and play with them a little bit, shake them around in the tub, try and mix the colors. I tried to do a little bit of a design, and when I was happy with it, I gently put the paper down on top and pressed it. The way you press it is going to be kind of how the design comes, so you don't really actually know what's going to come out of your actual process. So you just press the paper on carefully, try and make sure that you've spread everything around, and then you carefully lift it out onto your piece of newspaper, and then you get to do the second part. And now this is where the fun happens. So you can run it a little bit on your page. You can spritz some water to get water droplets. And then you can add some colorful splatter. And then you can very carefully set it aside to dry. You could even, for example, use a blow dryer to help push the paint around a little. We might do that a little bit further on. My favorite is the little water splatters. So I'm just going to move that one to my drying section. Okay. And then obviously now every time that you're going to do it, you're going to be adding more and more paint on there, and it'll kind of change every time and just be a bit different. So if the paint isn't running the way you want to, you can obviously just give it a little extra water it down, give it a shake. It's just about having fun, really. Okay, let's take another one. You can always do a little design on the back, see if that does anything. It's all about playing, having fun, and just getting dirty. Okay, so here I feel like we could use just a bit of shimmer. And then I can just play with it a bit. Now for fun, let's try with a different type of paper. This is just sketch paper from my daughter's art book. It's a bit thicker than the other stuff, but it works really nice for like end papers. So I think I'm going to give that a go. And we'll add a bit of white and more coppery tone. And let's add some brightness to it. There we go. And let's give this a go. Okay. I think we're getting a bit too muddy here with the colors. So I'm just going to give this a quick wipe to get most of it out. And I think we can just give it another go. Oh my. Oh, you are nice. Ooh, just a few smidges, tiny bits. Don't want to overdo it. Oh my God. right, so it's the next day and the papers are ready. There's just one that had a really big puddle that hasn't quite dried yet, so I'm just not going to show that really. And these are the results. I have divided them into the ones I like, kind of like less, to the ones that I think are okay, to my very favorites at the end. And you can kind of tell because the ones I did at the beginning are the ones that I liked the least. I got into a rhythm and stuff near the end, and I think that more paint gave a kind of cooler effect. However, that being said, even on the ones I don't like, there's parts that I really do like, and they can be used for collage, or you can just cut it down to use that page that you like, that part that you like. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that it can't be used. So here we go. I do like the little shimmer of the copper. This is the part that I like. It feels so smooth, and I like how the water droplets really gave this kind of nice sunset-y look to it. This part here, not too keen, but this part I like. This one, again, was one of the first ones. Don't have a lot of paint on it, and I accidentally put another piece of paper on top when it was drying, so I have a square in the corner. Feel any of these are smooth, darling, here? Yeah, it is. So yeah, not the best, but doesn't stop you from using it, right? Again, one of the earlier ones. This one isn't so bad. I kind of like how this kind of looks like a balloon here. I don't mind that. I do like the shimmery patch here. It feels kind of mysterious. I think the thing I don't really like about this one is there's a lot of white space on there, and I would have liked a bit more coverage. This one was one of the ones I tried the blow dryer on, and if you saw the video, the blow dryer plan didn't quite go the way I wanted it to. Things were flying everywhere, and yeah, I wasn't too keen on the way the look came out. So this one and this one are both my attempts with the blow dryer, and although it's kind of cool how it's got these little like ridges, see? Kind of reminds me of like sand underwater. I mean, it's not bad, but yeah, there were better ones. This was this is one where I tried to do like two, one on top of the other, and pulled them off. I like how the banding happened with the little droplets in there. I like this. It looks really cool. So again, if there was a little bit less white space, I probably would have liked it better. This was one of the ones that I accidentally put something else on top of, and you can see where I lifted it off, but it was one of the ones I liked the more. But yeah, I mean, it's so soft and smooth. It really came out nice. And it kind of feels like paste papery in a way, because it feels like there's ridges and stuff, but when you run your hands over it, there aren't any. So yeah, I kind of like that one. This one, I tried to go and do some stripes. Again, I stuck something on top of it. This is all about being organized. I'm just a disorganized mess, as you all know. But yeah, I kind of like it. I kind of wish I had made it a bit smoother, blended a bit more, and hadn't put stuff on top of it. But I do love the little speckles of the water on it, and how it kind of looks like, I don't know, something mysterious, like the atmosphere of a gas giant or something. I don't know. Again, I like the way the colors are on this one. I like the blend. I'm just not a fan of all this white space that I left, but if you cut it down, I think that would look really nice. Again, here, same thing. It looks like an amazing sunset. I just adore this middle piece here. And you can see the shimmer, I hope, from the copper on there, and it looks amazing. Kind of reminds me of Jupiter's big red spot. So I think that would look really cool. Again, trimming that off, and that would be a beautiful piece. I really quite like this one. Well, most of it anyway. I love this part here. And then you've got your shimmer. This is a blob that didn't quite work the way I wanted it to, but it's okay. And here I just had it running a bit and just to see how it came out. But yeah, it's not bad. If I hadn't managed this blob, it probably would have been better, but yeah, I still like it. This one is pretty cool. I really like the mysteriousness of it, and I didn't realize at the time, but a hair fell on it and then it came off. So you've got this kind of weird loop part in there, which is actually kind of cool. So, yeah, you can come and see, look, you see? Whee! Yeah, so it kind of has that, and I love this swirl with the blue and the black and the copper bits here. It looks really like marbly. I don't know, I just really quite like all the different elements. Yes, it chose the right paper, didn't it? This one, I like it. It was one of the first ones, so I didn't have a lot of paint to pick up on it. But I like it. It's simple. It feels relaxing. It feels like, I don't know. It just gives me cozy vibes. I like it in its own way. Now we're getting into the more painted ones, and definitely into the ones that I like more. I really love the color swirls and patterns in this one. I think it looks absolutely super with a little trim here and a little trim there. It's just an amazing page to have. I love the specks. I love the shimmer. I love the little rivulets there. Just, yeah, this one's really cool. I like this one. Maybe the paint pooled quite a bit here. And I could have dabbed it off, but I don't know. It looks like a far off nebula in space or something. I don't know. I'll show you. Yeah, it's very nice. Oh, really? Oh, there you go. So we go with the galaxy. This one was one of the mid-time ones. I quite liked it. I don't know what happened here. I think it's just the way I lift it, or maybe the way I rubbed it on the back. It looks kind of disjointed and patchy, but for some reason I kind of like that, how that one came out. So that one's one of my likes. This is one of the ones where I finished off most of the white paint and just dumped it in, and I do love it. It's so light and smoky and feels marbled, like proper marbled. I don't know, it feels like it would be great on a countertop, don't you think? A good pattern. This one here also came out really lovely. I love all this marbling and the shimmer of the copper, and then just the beige, and oh look, another hair. I don't know. Hair is great. There you go. Hair's off now. But yeah, it didn't leave as much of a mark as the other one, but there you go. I really like this one. I like this kind of stripe that goes through it. Just, yeah, it's really cool. Here's another one of the super colorful ones. I love the blue in there. I love the stripes, how they came out. The rivulets here and the speckles and just the texture. It's just like waves. It's just so yummy, this one. I really love it. Here's another one, again, similar in the way of the other one. You've got all your beautiful textures here. You got your little water splats there, and then just the way it ran here is just, ooh, nice. Again, very similar. I love the splash of the two colors in the middle, the blue and the yellow and the green and the pink kind of that's come out in between. And yeah, this one's really cool. Now we're hitting my top two favorites. So here we go. The colors in this one, the swirls in this one, the patterns, the speckles, just, needs an iron because I've bent it, but yeah. And the slight shimmer caused by the copper that's in there. It's just amazing. And finally, my most favorite, this. I don't know why. It's galactic. It's like there's a beam of light coming through and you got your speckles and your swirls and the colors just blending in beautifully together. I don't know. I just love it. So with all of this, I hope you enjoyed and you decide to give it a go. You don't need size. You don't need fancy equipment. You just need your paints and some water, some paper, and a bit of fun. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please just leave me a comment below. It would be really great. And if you haven't already, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any more of my creative experiments in the future. Happy crafting, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.